Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome to another painting tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how I go about doing the bases for my recent Ultramarine Escalation force. So as you can see here, these materials I'm going to be using and an image of what the base will look like when it's done. So starting off, we're going to use Armageddon Dust, and we're just going to use our scraper tool here to get a whole lot of it and just start laying it onto the base thick. Now, unlike when I used the Sterling Mud, I'm putting on a little bit more with this one just so I can get a little bit of definition, so you can see some raised areas of it here and there. And this is just to make the base look a little bit more interesting as we go about shading it and adding some of the final details. So as you can see here, I've just spread it all around, and as it dries, it's going to have a nice ridged contour to it. Next up, I'm going to add a little bit of Agrellan Earth, and here we are. We're just going to get a nice big dab of it, and we're just going to apply it to the base. Now remember, when using the Crackle Medium, that you want to control how much you go on there, because the thicker it is, the bigger the cracks are going to be, but less of them, whereas the thinner it is, you're going to get some more cracks, but not as big. So in this case, I'm putting on some nice thick amounts of the Agrellan Earth here, just because I want to have those really big defining cracks attached to it. I want them to really stand out as opposed to a lot of little cracks. I want it to make it look like it's really breaking apart. Next up, we're going to shade it with a little bit of Agrex Earth Shade. As you can see here, just applying it all. It's going to give nice definition. And then we're going to move on to the dry brushing step. And we're going to use your Shafty Bone. And as you can see here, I'm just putting on a nice amount of it, just really hitting all the high contours and all the raised parts of the base here, just to give it that light that light tone to the overall look of it, just to bring it up so we have a lot of contrast. And I'm just hitting a little bit around the edges and going over a couple other places, and that's what it looks like afterwards. Next up, I'm going to be adding a little bit of PVA glue to it, because what I want to do is add some snow flock. So here I am just putting the glue on, and you can use as much or as little as you like in this case. Now in my particular case, I'm trying to hit the edges, the raised edges, the contours, and I'm putting on a fair amount of glue on this case because I want this particular base to have a nice snowy effect. So I use the Citadel Snow Flock. And just gonna, with the glue wet, just gonna dip it in there and move it around a little bit. Just make sure that the flock covers everything. And there we are. Just brush off a little bit of excess snow, and that's what it's gonna look like with the snow and the basing and everything. So next up, I'm going to show you a model here. This is one of the Ultramarines I've done, and this one doesn't have the Agrellan Earth, but it gives you the idea of what the base will end up looking like with the snow flock on it. As you can see, it adds a nice little bit of color and contrast. So here's everything you'd need in order to do the basing tutorial I just showed you, and you can go ahead and do it yourself. It only takes a couple minutes to do, aside from drying times. Thank you very much for watching, and of course be sure to like and subscribe if you like what you see. Leave a comment below, and you can follow me on various social medias. Happy wargaming!